I thought, well, I've come last a few times and I've had some very embarrassing competitions. Ah, that's good. That's good. That's hard for her though. That's quite hard for her to do. I'm looking at her back and her rump.
Well, I felt it just.
Yeah, yep, that's right. But there she actually said, oh yes, I can get my legs up.
I was looking at her neck.
Yes, well, she did, because her head and neck went into the right place for her back.
Beautiful.
Just make the circle smaller if she goes faster. Yes, that's right, until she slows down herself. That's it, good. Well done. That's good, Brodie. That's good. See, even, you know, that's all you really need to do is that little bit there, but if she does it nicely, well, that's a terrific achievement, because eventually she'll do it on all the circle.
Your back's come up.
Yep. Yes, well, her back was quite soft then. Quite soft. But you could still see it's not easy for her. It's, I don't know how you describe it or relate it to a human, but I suppose in exercises and things, how they're hard to do, and then all of a sudden, you know, they get easier and easier. Have you tried that bitch yet? Still haven't got a bridle.
I keep forgetting. I'm going to see Amanda this afternoon to get some hay, so I'll get a double bridle.
Yeah, good. See, that's the way that you need to work. So if you start off like you did today, and she was a bit runny in the trot, we'll just say, oh well, I haven't walked it for long enough. I haven't done enough small circles and changes of rein, and then when she does go off and you feel that's too fast, or she's making you, or she's running into your hand sort of business, well, you just say, all right, well, we've got to come back and, oh, well, we start off and just with the intention of only doing maybe a quarter of a circle nicely. See, that was the whole principle of Nuno's teaching, really. You didn't go on riding your horse round and round and round, doing things that weren't working out. But of course, behind it all was shoulder in, which is what you're doing. I mean, you're pushing the hind quarters across. It's the same effect. Mightn't be competition shoulder in, but it's a type of shoulder in. Yes, that's the idea. Good, yes, that's it. That was exactly right what you did then. Yep. And that too, she wants to do that. That relieves her back, and you can't keep trotting on like that because it's too low. But you just come back to walk exactly like you did. Because of all the bit that you got in between that was so good, that bit of leg yielding. Just soften your back. When your back hollows like that, that's when your head goes, whatever it does.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just looking at it then, because you were sort of going like that, yeah. Try and think of shoulder in all the turns. Yeah, give. She wants to go down, give. Let her go down, because that puts her back into a comfortable position. Good, good, good. So how have you been, what have you been doing? This sort of stuff when you... Is being satisfied with a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think Nuno says that in all his books. You know, be satisfied with small things. And it's a mindset that, you know, that gets you on that. Your knees are a bit straight and your glutes slide forward. Just make sure that she stretches forward and down, so unless you put your hands forward, she's not going to, no. Oh, it's fair, but you know. Not as good as you prefer. Give and trot. That's it. Good. Well, you could do a close up the circle. Just turn your body. Yes, good. And then you can move out. You can move out at the walk if you like. You don't have to move out at the trot. Just watch that outside run. Sometimes you use it a bit too much. Or you hold on to it a bit too much, I think. Because you do, to get the leg across, you do have to have a contact at that stage, but then you've got to let it go, because I just feel that there's a bit too much pull there, which will block her flexion. The other thing you could stick in there too is your turns on the quarters at the walk, on squares. Put the quarters in and then turn. Then bring the shoulders round with a bit of play with the flexion. You always want to try it, but that's what you've got to be careful of, because if you have too much outside run, you won't keep the flexion. Yeah, better that side. Yep. The neck's got a lot softer. Yeah. Like all the muscles in the neck are looking softer. I sort of think rather than change each one, yeah, I'd stay on the same one, because I think that makes it a bit harder for her when you change like that. So it's got to be good. Take, give, yep. Yep, okay. Good, and forward. And good. That was good. I think those round backs will be good for her because they do help to round the back. Not so much bend to right. Yeah, not too much nose to right, I should say. I think with her, she needs plenty of transitions or plenty of variation, like what you're doing virtually. Watch that left rein. What is best for her if you should see her head go out and down into the transition. So first, I think I would bend her a little bit more in the neck to the inside, then let go, and then trot. There. That's it. That's the position. Oh yes, well. If she does that,
yeah,
I'd be a bit more time to come back and I think I'd do it. I'd hold and rein back and just see. Yeah, well, just when she does that, she's I just think if you round her back up a bit more with the rein back, with her, as long as you're not having to fuffles in the rein back, well, I think the rein back is pretty good for her, actually, and I reckon Nuno would agree with that too. He was very keen on rein backs. And a Dutchman had a very stiff back. He had a very high back. Like he was a typical warm blood there. He had a high spine. He was almost straight right through to his croup. And that was what he said to me, go home and teach him Piaf because it'll help him to soften his back. And it certainly did. And that's how I taught it to him. I taught it out of rein back. Not on his back, of course, on the ground. Yes, that's getting much better. Yes. And that's, see, she puts her head down then. And then you could just say trot. Yeah, good. And always have the feeling that your hands are going forward, not sneaking back. Yep, that's it. Okay, change rein, do a bit of that on the rein back and... Yeah, well, your legs need to be loose, but just watch that they don't go forward and get out of position with your seat. So you've got to keep thinking of that bend in the knees. I almost say to you that your stirrups need to go up a hole, but I won't sort of make an issue of that at the moment. But they really are, because your feet are level, but your legs just look a bit not effective. Yeah. This leg looks better this side. I don't know if they're even or not. Oh yes, they look pretty even. And give. Don't keep pulling around. And then I would have trotted while she was down there. I always get into the habit of saying, can I trot with that left hand forward? Right leg back, bend your knee. That's supposed to be an outside leg. Yep, good. Yeah, good. tell it's hard for her because she continually, it is good that she's moving her mouth on the bit, but she's continually showing discomfort there. And that, I'm sure that that discomfort's coming from the effort that it is for her back, with her back. Good. Yeah, good. See, every time she does a transition like that, it's a plus. So somewhere you can stop and rein back. But yeah, across the centre line, just make sure it's a straight line, otherwise it encourages her to go crooked. Legs back, that's it. And this, just nudge her with them. Legs back and nudge her with the legs. Come forward a little bit with your body, that's right. And just use your legs as though you were pushing her forward, but then say with the reins, no, we're going back. Yeah, that's right, you have to give in between and then trot, yeah. Because she put her head down and that's, you know, a good position then to trot on with the hind legs underneath her, which she did quite well, because her first step was her trot. She didn't try to walk out of it. Good. That's good, very good for her. Now, she never could walk like that, could she? Never. And I think, you know, she tries to snatch the reins out of your hands and all that sort of thing because she wants to, that stretching down like that really relieves her back. That's why she does it. But eventually she'll stop doing it. So the more you can trot her out there, the better. When you canter her, where do you canter her? And
I've been doing it out in the big paddock.
oh yeah. She only used to do that in the time, jawing with the mouth, because she was so uncomfortable.
Who is that?
Fiona.
Oh.
So she was always going on the bit, and I realised now why. Well,
Yeah.
I realised not just now, but once I started going to Nuno, I realised why she did it, because she stopped doing it. Once I started to work on myself. Yes, okay, that's good. That's good for her. That is good, although she is likely to trip that way, but you probably feel when, so if you don't go for too long, she should be right. I mean, they can trot like that once their hind legs and carry them and they get stronger in the back, they can trot like that. But that is good for her, very good. And she stopped, she's not doing that yawing with the bit, actually, now. She stopped it because what she does is she keeps opening her mouth all the time. Good girl. So that's just telling you that I'm uncomfortable. But people, the horse does things like that and then they just say, oh, the bloody horse is just shit and it does this and it does that. They don't try to understand why. That's very good, Brodie. That is very good. You could see the relief coming in her hind quarters there.
She's not even trying to throw her head up or...
No. No, because she says, that feels good, I can do that. Well, that trot should feel better. Of course, you can't canter with the head down there like that, but for this particular exercise, this is very good. Yes, yes, yes. She says that's where I want to put my head. No lower though, no lower, because of course it does put it more on the forehand. But those little short transitions like that's very good for her back. I mean, I can see that it's good for her back.
Must be so much more comfortable.
Yep.
For her.
That's it. That's it. She's probably looking for, when she runs like that, she's probably looking for the bit for you to tell her to stop. So she runs on a bit, but then she came back of her own accord, and that's the best way of her learning, is to learn herself. Good. Yeah. That's good. Okay.